This is the matcha latte that wakes me up every single morning because I'm so excited to have it. It is extremely delicious and so easy to make. So some tools that you will need to make your matcha latte is a sieve or a sifter, and I got like pretty much all of this in one kit from Amazon. It's linked in my storefront if you want to get the exact same ones as me. A bamboo spoon, which you don't necessarily need this, you can just scoop it up however you would like, bamboo spoon. And then I think it's called a chawan. It's this bowl where you mix your green tea into. And I don't know, I love it. I love that it has a spout. It's so cute. It really just makes the whole process of making matcha that much more enjoyable. So the process of making matcha actually doesn't start whenever you put your matcha in the bowl or you sift it. It actually starts with your whisk. You want to do something called blooming the whisk. It's essentially where you pour hot water over the whisk for about 30 seconds or more so that the bristles, the bamboo bristles, become like less delicate so you don't break or mess up your bamboo whisk. Now it's time for the fun part where we finally make the matcha. So here I am using Ippido tea. It is the ceremonial grade matcha, and this one is called Sayaka. It has the most beautiful like green tint to it. It's way more beautiful than the matcha that I had previously. It was like more of like a yellow green rather than a green. 2-ish scoops, bamboo scoops of matcha, especially with ceremonial grade. With the lower grade, I did 2 teaspoons just like it called for, and don't get me wrong, that lower quality matcha tasted really good in a latte, but you can just seriously tell the difference with the ceremonial matcha. But don't let anyone tell you that you cannot make yourself a matcha latte just because you don't have an expensive ceremonial matcha. Go for it. You can use the cheaper alternative. I have it as well. Now it's time to sift it, and this is good because you don't want any clumps in your matcha. Like, nobody likes a clumpy matcha. I mean, unless that's your vibe. But just take a sifter, just whatever you have. It has to be like a small, like fine sifter, or else that's no use. Also, if you have that latte mix that I showed earlier, the light, like greenish yellow matcha, you actually don't need to sift it because it's a latte mix. Now, once your matcha looks like this and your chawan, forgive me if I'm wrong, we're going to pour some hot water, not boiling. You want the water to be around like 175 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not really sure what that is in Celsius, but you just pour a little bit, just enough to kind of cover the matcha, like so. At this point, this is the fun part. This is where you whisk your matcha in like a zigzag or an M or a W shape. And of course, you're not supposed to whisk it in circles, but you do need to get that matcha that may be stuck to the sides of the walls of your chawan. And then at this point, you just kind of vigorously whisk it in a zigzag, but don't be too hard. You don't want to mess up your bamboo whisk. Don't go too aggressive. Try not to touch the bottom. We're really looking for your matcha to have like even bubbles across the top, and that's how you know it's pretty much really well whisked. While you're making your latte, you might as well put your whisk, your bamboo whisk, in some water and let it clean off. You can add your milk directly to your chawan or to your cup. It doesn't matter, but I feel like when you do this, it's like a whole like matcha dream. Just so much beautiful green matcha going into your cup. Then this is the point where if you want to add any sweeteners, you can. I'm gonna add maple syrup. I also like to add like brown sugar or cinnamon or honey. I like to switch it up a lot. If you're making this ice, which I am, get like a huge glass full of ice. I think that's the best way to make it. And then pour your matcha latte directly over it. At this point, your matcha latte should look luscious and beautiful just like this. Now this looks so gorgeous. It's time to give it a taste test. This is what wakes me up every single morning. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and like the video and check out my other videos.